Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Shelly Peters. This is the place to embrace the plant-based life. Today, we're going to be making a simple and delicious soup, a corn chowder, just using the blender. It's going to take 5 minutes to put together, and it's a perfect appetizer to a larger meal or a wonderful afternoon lunch with a little sandwich on the side. So let's get started. This recipe is from the Forks Over Knives cookbook. And it's got some really great recipes in, all healthy, all whole food, plant-based, no added oil, which of course is the way we all should be eating. So this creamy corn chowder is on page 95 if you want to follow along with your cookbook. And it's from Chef AJ, who is a really famous chef in the plant-based world. So thanks, Chef AJ. We're going to give this one a try. I've not made this before, so we're going to be doing it for the first time together. Okay, so I grabbed some frozen corn, and I know from experience, and I'm sure you do too, that the best possible way to make sure your recipe turns out is to get the absolutely best quality ingredients you can get your hands on. I had this bag of corn, frozen corn, in my freezer, and it was nothing special. So I'm not sure if this is going to be the optimal sweetness for this corn chowder, but I'll let you know at the end when I taste it. If you happen to be using up some regular old garden variety frozen corn in your freezer, then you might add a little drop or two of a sweetener, agave maybe a little bit, or you could even add a little bit of date paste if you wanted to. But so ultimately you want to get a sweet, probably a sweet corn variety, which are available, and just use the frozen stuff. It'll keep in your freezer, and then she recommends you just leave it out to thaw, which I've done. It's been sitting out for about a half an hour or so, so I think it's just thawed enough. And essentially all you do is put all of your ingredients in the blender. So let's start with the corn. The other ingredient it calls for is shallots, one small shallot. And you know what? If you can, use a shallot. Shallots are a little bit more delicate in flavor and a little bit sweeter than a regular onion. So try to get a little shallot if you can. And I just realized I left my oat milk, which is part of the recipe, in the house. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with my oat milk. Chef AJ actually calls for almond milk. I'm not sure why. I prefer using oat milk in my cooking and baking so that I don't have any kind of an almond flavor if I'm not looking for one, but maybe it adds a nice dimension. So use whichever one you want. This is 2.5 cups of oat milk, and we're gonna pour that in. And the other ingredient that's gonna make this really nice and creamy is an avocado. So we're going to just open this avocado, and we're going to cross our fingers that I picked a good one. Oh, I did. Fantastic. And we're just going to squeeze the avocado out, remove the pit from here, and squeeze out the flesh. And that is going to be an interesting color, considering that's going to make it a little bit of a green color. So let's give it a blend and see what we've got. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Oh, it's quite creamy, and actually quite a nice consistency. So I'm going to serve this out here. And what she's recommending you can garnish it with are some green onions, some scallions, if you like. You can also put a few kernels of corn on top. That would be a nice garnish. And you know what? Go ahead and garnish. Garnish makes a difference for flavor. Every spoon that you have, or forkful of whatever it is you're serving, if you have a garnish on it, it not only is it pleasing to the eye, it looks like you took some care with the dish, and it really does boost the flavor. So go ahead and garnish. I'm going to taste because I wonder if I'm going to give a little squeeze of lime just to boost the flavor. Let's see what it tastes like. Oh, it's quite nice. I was right. I think the corn I'm using is, it's okay. It's not fantastic. I'm gonna give a little squeeze of lime, and I'm going to just stir that in. And that's much better. So it is definitely creamy, and it's got a nice fat component to it because of the avocado. But I think I am going to do a little drizzle of agave. And again, this is just a drizzle, so I will add it to the main recipe as well, but just so I can show you how I taste and adjust flavors. I would normally do it in here, but we're just going to do a small sampling. The other thing I'm going to do is add my absolutely favorite salt. It is extremely expensive Malden sea salt flakes. You use very little, and it is so sophisticated and delicious as a salt. And I'm just gonna sprinkle a little of that on top. I'm gonna give this a little stir. The other thing Chef AJ mentions is you can use chipotle powder in it, which would be a lovely addition because it will be like a little bit spicy and sweet and creamy. So let's see how this is. Oh yeah, that absolutely did it. Just a little touch of agave because, as I said, the corn I was using was not the best quality corn. It was just a regular old no-name brand of frozen corn in my freezer. So that's it. I'm going to go ahead and have this afternoon snack of this gorgeous corn chowder. And you know what? It's really good cold. It's quite cool, and I'm loving it. It's refreshing, especially on a warm day. And you know what? And it's actually a raw food. So that's really cool because everything in it was not cooked, was just blended, which the blender, sometimes if you let it go a long time, heats it up a little bit, but I didn't have to with this one. I blended it on high for about 1 minute, and that got me to the creamy consistency that I really like. So thanks for joining me, and grab yourself the Forks Over Knives cookbook. I have my little sticker here because this is from a set that I give my private clients that I coach. And so the sticker isn't normally here. So it's a Forks Over Knives, and it's got a bunch of really great chefs that have put recipes inside. And this is a super healthy cookbook you need to grab. So thanks again for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want more videos like this, tips and tricks to lead your best plant-based life. Take care and see you soon.